right, so as promised, I have the 3 YJ Guanlongs. I'm going to be testing 3 of the Cosmic Lube samplers, the Martian, the Galaxy, and the Nebula. I really wanted to test these lubes with an extreme budget puzzle. So in my opinion, the YJ Guanlong was pretty grainy last time I had it, so this would be a great lube to test all 3 of these puzzles with. Since they're coming right out of the box, this is a pretty raw test. So let's get into it. All right, so right here we have the YJ Guanlong. This is a pretty inexpensive cube, definitely on the budget range. I've already unboxed this and kind of reviewed this, and I thought this would be a great budget puzzle to test all 3 of the Cosmic Lube sampler sets. So for a point of reference, let's go ahead and see how this thing feels. Ugh. Very sandpapery. Given the fact that it's pretty grainy out of the box, you can hear the grain. It just feels like sandpaper on sandpaper. This would be a great contender to sample all 3 of these lubes. So let's get into it. All right, now it's time to test the Martian Lube. This is actually the lightest lube they have, and not too sure if I'm going to like the light. I know that I like my lube a little bit heavier, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'd say that initially this puzzle, again, was very grainy. It obviously feels a lot more lube now, which is great. The Martian Lube is a little bit too light for my liking, but we'll go ahead and see what the other lubes kind of hold up to. If you're using this lube and this is all you have, it's going to make this puzzle go from feeling like a 5 to probably closer. I mean, to me, it feels like a solid puzzle now. I mean, it feels like it's probably like a 7.5, 8. Again, it really turns well. Again, a little too loose for me. But again, for a puzzle that cost me $3.95 on a Speed Cube shop, this lube is by far worth it. All right, so going into the second puzzle, this is lubed with the Galaxy Lube. This is the middle of the road lube that's gonna be in that pack of 3. This is the one that I expect to kind of be my favorite because again, I don't want something too heavy and I don't want something too, light. But again, we'll go ahead and get into it and see. So right off the bat, this puzzle already feels better than the other one for sure. It's just got a more, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like a more mature turning feel. It feels like it has just enough lag on it to my liking. I don't like really fast, loose puzzles. So this one has just enough friction, I feel like, for my liking. Some things you can't really change. The corner cutting isn't really that great still. Doesn't really improve it much. You're probably still at that 20 to maybe 30 degree mark where it's kind of doing it right there. So that's kind of your sweet spot. But again, going into the puzzle, overall, again, it feels like it's much, much better. So this is exactly how I like it right here. If I were going to go ahead and decide, if this puzzle was, if I were to rate it, again, before it's getting a solid like 5, maybe 5.5. As of right now, just how lubed it feels and how good it feels. I mean, this puzzle is something that I would probably use a lot more frequently now. I wouldn't have even considered the Guanlong as a suitable puzzle. But yeah, with these lubes though, fantastic buy. Just a fantastic set of lubes so far. And they keep getting better. The Martian was good. This is better. It's like baby bear, mama bear, papa bear kind of a thing. So I'm liking it, but I'm kind of curious to see what Nebula has to offer. All right, so last but not least, we have the Nebula, which is the kind of the heaviest of the 3 samples. Initially, this is the one that I thought I would like the best, but it's gonna be really hard to beat the Galaxy. Oh man. This might be a little too heavy for me. It feels good. It actually reduces the noise down the most. I can barely hear the noise, but it does feel like it's kind of adding. I can't say it's adding to the overall sandpapery feel because it feels like the sandpapery feel is gone. It's very interesting. Like, I really want to like this lube a lot, but again, it might just be a little too heavy for me at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, this is turning into a much more solid puzzle. So for $3.95, adding some of this lube to it, it's gonna make it a much better puzzle. All right, so why do I have these puzzles reboxed? I have these reboxed because I'm actually gonna go ahead and include these 3 puzzles in my next giveaway. I don't have that giveaway announced yet. My initial thoughts and plans were to do my next giveaway when I hit 500 subs. I'm well on my way there. I'm gonna keep these labeled, so you'll notice that I have, you know, the Martian, the Galaxy, and the Nebula. So I'll keep these in the boxes as lubed as they are for future reference. So in closing, I would say my favorite lube by far is the Galaxy right here, the center puzzle. For me, it was just heavy enough, but not too loose, if that makes any sense. I really enjoyed the feel and the flow. So if you were to buy any one of these 3 lubes, I actually recommend the whole set. They're really good for their own reasons. You can kind of mix and match as well. But if you were to buy one of these lubes, I would recommend by far the Galaxy. The runner-up is gonna be the Nebula, and the last one's gonna be Martian. And again, I don't really care for really light lubes. And these 2 were, you know, on the heavier side, which is nice. So if you're new to this channel, please again subscribe. Also, comment your thoughts on these lubes. Let me know if you had a good experience or a bad experience. Also, comment any other thoughts you might have. Lastly, if you found this video helpful, give it a like. And as always, till next time, happy cubing.